Hey, my beautiful friends. It is the second week of January. I almost said October. Why October? I don't know. It's the second week of January. And we are 2 weeks into our no buy, low buy January. We're actually going to try to do the entire year, but we're trying not to focus on that entire year. We're trying to do 1 month at a time so that we don't psych ourselves out. Because if you look at a small amount that you got to do, it's easier to accomplish that small amount than to accomplish the race. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier to finish a sprint than a marathon, right? Anyway, if you haven't seen my previous video about this, I can give you a quick summary about it. We are trying to lower our grocery bill. We are trying to not eat out. We are trying to buy only our needs. We do not want to buy any of our wants, period. And we are trying to do all of these things in order to pay off some debt. And I talk with my hands, and I'm sorry about that. Once you get to know me, you will realize I do that quite often. And sometimes my brain and my mouth don't work together, and I am a hot mess. But we're going to keep it real on this channel. And I just want y'all to know that I'm 100% authentic, and I'm not pretending to be anybody. I'm just me. So, anyhow, 2 weeks in to the no buy, low buy. We really didn't think it was going to be possible at all to do a no buy. So we said, well, okay, let's focus on a low buy. Well, lo and behold, we've had a storm. And I took some clips today of like our driveway and what it looks like here around the house, and some of the ice hanging on the side of the hill, and I might insert that at the end of the video if you want to stay and watch that. But we are still snowed in here at the house. We can only get up and down our mountain by riding a four-wheeler or walking. We just need some sunshine or some warmth or something. But anyway, here it came, Snowmageddon, and we are apparently in the Arctic tundra, and we're having to spend money that we wasn't planning on spending on emergency things. These are not wants, these are needs. So we do have some emergency purchases the last 2 weeks that normally would not have been there, and which have resulted in us having really kind of less money than normal, but we still have done really good. The first week of January, we did not buy any of our wants. We did not buy like any clothes, shoes, video games, anything like that. Nothing that we just wanted, we did not buy. Now, there was a few times that I was really, really tempted to buy a couple books off of Amazon. Like I've seen people recommending several Bible study books that they have, and I just keep adding them to a wish list on Amazon. Sorry, I hit the tripod. I just keep adding them to the wish list on Amazon, and I'm just going to just leave them there. And eventually, at the end of the year, I might reward myself with one or two if I still want them. Because I was going back and looking through old wish lists, and I was like, why did I even have that on there? And I was just like deleting things off. So if you leave things on there, eventually you might not want those those items. So I'm hoping that is what happened. We spent on groceries only that first week, and that's really the only thing I'm really keeping a total on is our grocery spending right now, because I said that we will automatically, well, we will pay our household bills, our utility bills. We will buy our needs like our tissue paper, shampoo, cleaning supplies, and all that. Once we run out of everything in the house that can possibly be used, of the cleaning supplies and all that kind of stuff, we will replace that stuff. But tissue paper, once you're out, you're out. And we don't buy paper towels. We use hand towels and things like that already. But tissue paper is a big one in our house. Really just spent, looks like, I don't have it totaled up, but it looks like about $40 on household things and medications the first week of January. We did not go out to eat at all that first week of January. No eating out, no going to fast food restaurants, no like takeouts, no food at all except what we bought at the grocery store and fixed in the house. We spent $237.05 on groceries. It was the week after Christmas. We had I'm trying not to say so much. I'm sorry. And sorry about that. I'm really trying not to do that. We had been everywhere celebrating with everyone, and we had used up a lot of things in the house and weren't buying as many actual groceries because we were eating a lot of snacks. And so there was things we had to buy back just to get us back to a starting point. Sorry, I'm trying. So we spent $237.05 on groceries the first week of January. That left us with enough money in the bank that first week to pay off our we had two like credit-ish cards. One was from Lowe's and then one is an actual credit card. We had enough money left to put a little back in our emergency fund, pay all of our bills, buy all of our groceries, get all of our medicines, all of our emergency needs, our household needs, everything, and pay off that Lowe's card. What extra money we had left after all the other things we paid off that Lowe's card. So that is one card completely paid off. So I'm very, very thankful about that. And that's one that we don't have to worry about anymore. So we only have one more card to pay off. And it's going to take more than 1 week to pay it off. But we will, throughout this year, chip away a little bit each week towards paying that one off. We did that first week pay off that Lowe's card. And that really motivated me to keep on keeping on. Emergency buys. For week 1, like I said, we did have some emergency buys because we're living in the Arctic tundra. That's a hard word for me to say. And you will learn there's quite a few words that's hard for me to say. We had to buy gas for the generator, and it has to be a specific kind of gas so that it doesn't clog up your carburetor. So we had to have that gas. Then we had to have extra propane in case, if the power went out. We use propane heat anyway, but, just as a backup. If all the power went out and, we were stuck here for an extended amount of time, then we wanted to be certain we had backup propane to cook with, whatever. We had to buy water filters for our water system, and it's 2 in a pack. So we bought 2 water filters, and those filters last a long time. So it was just luck of the draw that it ended up being January that we had to change that filter. So that's just how it worked out. So that was week 1 of January. And overall, that was a good one. It was a good week. I mean, I really haven't in the past kept track of how much we were spending. But when I look back at my bank account, and it shows you the little graphs of how much you spent, your average of how much you spent how much money was coming in and how much money went out each month, compared to previously in January, we've had a lot less money going out. So that's a good thing. And now for week 2 of the low buy January, we overall, it was a worse week spending wise because of emergency buys. And medical, we had to go to the pharmacy more. We had to spend more money on medicines than we had to the first week. But we actually spent less on groceries in the second week. So week 2, we ended up spending $218.45 on groceries. That's it. So we were actually down, I don't know, $20 from the first week on groceries. And that's pretty good considering that we went out today on the last day and ended up kind of splurging at the grocery store a little bit because we had been on the go all day and we just needed some quick things to snack on. And even though I said we're not going to like buy a bunch of snacks, I guess I ate my words on the 14th day. I ate my words a little bit. We ended up buying some veggie straws. I think that's what they're called. Sort of like potato chips, but it's made out of vegetables. Yeah, we made that. We bought some of those. We bought some, I was going to say pimento cheese, but it's not. It's palmetto cheese and some crackers. And we ate some of that. So anyway, it wasn't horrible junk, but it was still junk food. So anyway, we wasted a little bit of money today in comparison to the previous week. And so we would have had a lower amount spent if we hadn't been out all day today and went into the store hungry. And because we had to get something for my mom, she needed some fire starters for her wood burning stove. And she also needed one of those things that heats up and burns the, I don't know how to say that word, the buildup in your stovepipes or your chimney. I want to say Creole something. Anyway, it builds up when you burn a lot of fires. Anyhow, you have to burn one every couple months during the wintertime. But yeah, she needed one of those, so we went in to pick up that. We were hungry. We bought snacks. That's the sum of it. Is don't go in the store when you're hungry. Okay. But we spent $218.45 on groceries this week. We did not buy any wants other than those snack groceries, as far as clothing, games, books, just anything that we just wanted that was frivolous. We bought none of that. So for the last 2 weeks, we have spent $0 on wants. We have not went out to eat again this week. We did not go out to eat. We've been to no restaurants, no fast foods, no sit down restaurants, no takeout, nothing like that. And I was watching another girl's buy nothing, low buy video the other day, and she mentioned something about not spending money on DoorDash and Instacart and all that stuff. Well, where I live in the backwoods, that's not even an option. So that hadn't even went through my brain that people do that. But yeah, I can see how that would be like a money suck. If you lived within city limits and you could just have somebody bring it to your door and you pay them a few extra dollars, I could see how that would be tempting to do that. Because I would probably be doing that. But where I live at, they would never do that. So, $218.45 in groceries, no wants, no eating out. And as far as emergency buys, we did have more emergency buys this week. We bought de-icer for the four-wheeler. I told y'all about this in one of my other videos. The four-wheeler key, the thing you stick the key back in, ignition switch, I guess is what it's called, keeps freezing up. And so Michael had bought this, it's some kind of little stuff, a little tube of stuff that you can squirt in there and it will keep it from doing that. Well, anyway, he had bought 2 tubes of it and somehow one of them got busted. And so he had one for him and one for me because if he has to drive it or I have to drive it, we might each need one. And so one of them got busted somehow, so he had to go back and buy another one. So we had to buy 3 of those. And then he bought 2 gas treatments, one at the beginning of the week and then one at the end of the week. Because remember, I told you in that other video that the four-wheeler was running acting crazy. And if I went down the hill, I was going to have to give it a lot of gas going down the hill, and I didn't want to do that. Well, he got it running good, but then a few days later, it started that running, idling weird, and he was thinking that there might be water, some kind of condensation getting down into the gas tank, and so he's going to have to figure out how to prevent that. But for now, he put gas treatments in there. And then he had bought more propane, and some kind of a hose that attaches to a small propane tank. Anyway, he got one of those. And let's see. And a lighter. He bought a lighter for some reason. He needed it for a reason, but I don't remember the reason. But he had a valid reason, because we don't smoke or anything like that. So I know he had a valid reason, but I just cannot remember what it was. But anyway, that was the emergency purchases that he bought, and it's all been because of the storm. We're still having like very cold temperatures. Like tonight, it's supposed to get down to 0, practically 2 degrees or something like that. And it's supposed to continue that way for like a week. We got out there this evening on the 4-wheeler and used this thing. I don't even know what it's like, a plow thing that goes behind the 4-wheeler, and tried to drag the hill with it to like get the snow off of the hill, so that maybe if we get some sunshine, even if there's no heat behind it, maybe if the sun comes through, if it can get down to that gravel, that it can melt a little bit of that, just so that some gravel can come through, so that we can get our vehicles up and down, because this riding the 4-wheeler in these temperatures is for the birds, and Michael's been doing it every single day. Anyway, we just need a vehicle up here so that he can start it and just ride a warm vehicle to work. And just so that if there's an emergency, I can get off this mountain. But anyhow, that's a lot of rambling that you probably don't even care about. Oh, but I will show you, I also took a little clip of my mom's wood stove, and I will show you maybe a little clip of it at the end of this. I guess that's it. And that's an update on the first 2 weeks of our low buy and buy nothing. And I'll update you on what happens from here. Oh, and we had also, I didn't have it wrote down here, but I do see a little note that I had wrote on here that we are not tracking what we paid with our, like tracking our bills, our medication amounts, or pet food, because we did have to buy dog food and cat food this week. So I didn't write down the amount. It was like $40 some when we bought a 50-pound bag of dog food, like 20-pound bag of cat food, and a couple boxes of treats. It was like $40 some. But I didn't write it down here to like keep track of, because that's something we buy all the time. That is something that we're not sacrificing anything we do for our animals on a regular basis. That's just not something we're willing to give up. So anyway, we're doing pretty good. We're spending less money according to our bank than we did this time last year, or at least the last few months anyway. We haven't bought any wants. We haven't eaten out, and we're still hanging in there. So I think we'll definitely make it through January. Will we make it all the way through the year? That's to be seen. I hope so. Wish us luck. Here is what the driveway looks like. Solid ice still. At least the sun's shining. It's definitely not going to melt anything, but at least it's shining. There's my honey. And guess how we're going to take the garbage down? Strapped to the front of the 4-wheeler. Gotta do what you gotta do, because our garbage bin's at the bottom of the mountain. Garbage truck definitely ain't gonna come up here and get it, are they? Come on. is hard for me not to buy my wants. Like, when it comes to the flower seeds, and then the vegetable seeds. This is when it's going to be really hard for me not to just like pick up all the zinnias. Are you doing a low buy or a no buy? And if you are, how's it going? And did you make it? If not, did you make any resolutions or did you set any goals? Because I usually don't make resolutions. I usually just kind of set a goal, because I ain't gonna swear that I'm gonna do something. Like, I'm not gonna make a resolution and say I'm definitely gonna do this, but I will say I'll attempt to do something. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. But anyway, if you have attempted to do something, did you follow through with it? Let me know. I love you guys. And if you stayed with me this long, thank you very much. And like I said before, I'm going to get better. Bye.